Well, hello, Woodland Heights community. It's me, Mr. Orr, the very proud principal here in the Wolf Den. And I hope that you are all safe and well during these continuous, challenging, turbulent times. But I did want to offer this video recorded message, and it will be rather lengthy. It will likely be about 15 to 20 minutes. But what it talks about is the proposal for the balanced day for the upcoming school year. So I am going to go into detail about what that is. And in order to do that and capture the message more concisely, I'm going to, I've put together some slides for you all. And I hope that you enjoy and this sort of helps folks understand what a balanced day is. So for the past 2 years since I have been at Woodland Heights, we have adopted what is called a balanced day schedule. And in order for this schedule to be maintained and not change anything, we have to survey the community moving forward and get a response to this survey. And the majority of the responses that come have to be in agreement of maintaining a balanced day. So I put together some slides to share with folks. I've shared it with our staff. I've shared it at our school council, but I wanted to videotape this in order that so that families can watch it at their leisure and not have to attend an actual virtual meet because I just know that people's schedules are very busy, and this way people can access it whenever they want. So this is the slide, Balanced School Day, Woodland Heights proposal for 2022-23. So the first step in this process is you have to form a committee. So you'll see here on this slide, these are all of the individuals in our school community that have agreed to be part of the committee. Because as I had mentioned, there is a survey that will go home to families through your parent portal that you'll be able to access and fill out. And then the results of those surveys must be shared with the committee. So these are the committee members, and it has to be a fulsome committee. As you can see, we've got a community member, our supervisor there. We've got some teaching, non-teaching staff, and also some parent representation from our school council. So the purpose of this presentation is to provide for you a description and an outline of what a balanced day schedule is. And again, we are currently in a balanced day, and we've had a balanced day the previous year. But I'm going to talk to you about the differences between a balanced day and a traditional day. And the traditional day is what Woodland Heights would have had 3 years ago. I'm going to talk a little bit about the reasons for adopting the balanced day schedule, and also talk about some of the benefits and challenges for students, parents, and educators. So as I had mentioned, before my time as principal here at Woodland Heights, we had what was called a traditional day at school. And for those of you who will remember, many of you, your own experiences in school likely would have been that of a traditional day, meaning that you started at 9 o'clock. You were in a classroom from 9 till about 10:20, and then at 10:20 to 10:35, you had a 15-minute recess. After that recess, you'd come back in, and then you'd have some more teaching time. After those periods were done, you can see in this schedule, you'd have eating time from 11:45 to 12:05, which is 20 minutes to eat. And then you would spend 40 minutes outside. So that's a total of an hour chunk for lunch in that middle. Then you come back in, you do some more teaching from 12:40, teaching and learning from 12:45 to 12:05. And then there's another recess, another 15-minute recess there from 2:05 to 2:20. And then you'll come back in after that small recess, do some more learning, and then dismissal at 3:30. So this traditional day schedule is what Woodland Heights had 3 years ago, prior to my time as principal here at Woodland Heights. So the concerns with this traditional day, and some of you might have already experienced this, but a lot of time is lost in a traditional day due to transitioning and snacks and dressing and undressing for the outside. In a nutshell, the traditional day has two 15-minute recesses and one 1-hour lunch. Asking our students to transition 3 times a day creates a lot of time lost in the classroom. Also, another concern with the traditional day is in that 1-hour lunch, we're then asking students to spend 40 minutes outside in very hot or very cold weather. Also, in a traditional day, there's only one opportunity during the day to participate in extracurricular activities. So if a coach wanted to run a practice, in a traditional day, there's only one opportunity to do that. Also, we find that in a traditional day, students' attention span is limited. Another big time concern, point number 5, is that all students are out at the same time for both of those 15-minute recesses. So in a traditional day, the morning 15-minute recess and the afternoon 15-minute recess, all of the students in the whole entire school are out on the yard at the same time. And this creates many problems, as you can imagine, in terms of behavior and managing students outside. Also, we find that with this 1-hour lunch in the middle of the day, many students are leaving property and they are getting into some trouble down at the local businesses at the Giant Tiger and the Tim Hortons. And we find that having this 1-hour lunch in the middle of the day it naturally encourages students to leave school property, and those students being our older students. So now I'd like to talk about the balanced day, which again, we have had a balanced day since my time at Woodland Heights. So this year we're on a balanced day, and last year we were also on a balanced day. So the balanced day, they start at 9 o'clock, and then from 9 to 10:50, they have teaching time where students are in the classroom. Then from 10:50 to 11:40, we have nutrition break 1, which is 25 minutes inside eating and 25 minutes outside. After nutrition break 1, students come in and they're in their classrooms from 11:40 till 1:30 for instructional time. At 1:30, we then have nutrition break number 2, where students spend 20 minutes inside eating their lunch and 20 minutes outside. Then from 2:10 to 3:30, there's another 80-minute instructional block, and then we dismiss at 3:30. So as you'll be able to tell from that, there are similarities. Both the traditional day and the balanced day have 300 instructional minutes. We're not changing anything between those two models in terms of teaching time. They both have a 90 minutes of break time. The traditional day having 60 minutes, 1 hour in the middle of the day, and 2 15-minute recesses. Whereas the balanced day has a 50-minute break in the morning and then a 40-minute break in the afternoon. And you'll notice that the start and end times remain unchanged. We still, in both models, we start at 9 and we finish at 3:30. So this table shows the differences between the traditional day and the proposed balanced day, if you look. You can see the first sort of row there, entry for both is 9 a.m. and dismissal is 3:30. They both have the 300 instructional minutes. However, the traditional day is more like a football game. The day is divided into 4 quarters and 3 breaks, whereas the proposed balanced day is more like a hockey game with 3 periods and 2 breaks. However, the next row is there is some compelling data in this next row, because when we ask students to transition 3 times to go outside, we lose about 20 to 30 minutes per day. And if you were to add that up over the course of the school year, that would equate to 19 to 20 full days lost of teaching due to all of that transitional time. Whereas in the balance day, which we are currently in and have had for the past 2 years, only 9 full days are lost. The traditional day, you've got your 2 quick, very quick, 15-minute breaks to quickly eat a granola bar or wolf down something, and 1 larger lunch, whereas the balance day has 2 smaller lunches, the 50-minute and 40-minute. So the balance day, there are many benefits to maintaining and keeping it the same as we have it right now. In a balanced day, there's multiple opportunities for an uninterrupted 100-minute literacy block. Also, the brain compatible research supports the balanced day as it optimizes student focus on the learning task while maintaining a healthier balance of nutrition. A big point for any student who's interested in any sort of intramurals or extracurriculars is that in a balanced day, there are 2 opportunities to do that. Whereas in a traditional day, they only get the 1 opportunity. In a balanced day, there's more opportunities for teachers to plan and collaborate, and also more opportunity for extracurriculars, because as many of you will know, a student who signs up for a team, if we go back to the way we had it in a traditional day, it can be very hard for parents and families to get students here early in the morning or after school for practice. In a balanced day, we can run these practices during the day, so it's more equitable. We can get more students involved. And also, even though these instructional blocks are longer, we do expect teachers to be doing activities in the classroom that get them up out of their seats, that get them doing jumping jacks in the classroom, that there is a range of what we call QDPA, or outdoor learning. QDPA standing for Quality Daily Physical Activity. And we really encourage this in that middle block in a balanced day. And as you know, many of our students and teachers do that currently, because we're currently in a balanced day. The specific benefits for Woodland Heights of maintaining a balanced day model is that this is our current model. If we don't get this passed, if not enough people in our school community agree and say we want to keep a balanced day, then we'll have to change again. And I really believe that the last thing the community and our students need is to change yet again, because things are going very well. Students have adapted very well. There are fewer transitions during the day, which means more instructional time. Most of our students stay at school for lunch. Therefore, there's really no need for that extra long lunch hour. A big benefit for Woodland Heights is that we can share our yard. So in a balanced day, never do we ask all of the students to go out on the yard at the same time, which creates for a much safer schoolyard. We have decreased discipline problems on a balanced day. We do not have a lot of issues. I mean, you're always going to have some issues, but certainly our staff can intervene quicker when there are less students out on the schoolyard. And also, there's less exposure during those extreme hot and cold temperatures. In a traditional day, we're asking students to stay out for a lot longer at once, which can create many problems. And also, there is more time for educators to collaborate with colleagues to support students. So how much instructional time is gained? I've already said a conservative estimate is that 20 to 30 minutes per day would equal approximately 20 days over the course of the school year. These are some sample boards that have a balanced day. As you'll notice, Thames Valley is listed there. Many of our schools in Thames Valley are currently on a balanced school day. In fact, if any new school that's built, they automatically adopt a balanced day, again, because the brain compatible research supports this. The challenges of going back to a traditional day like we had in the past was that the lunch packing and eating habits will require adjustment. Those two 15-minute recess they're very hard. It's like a lost time, because anyone, especially with primary students, if you're asking primary students to put on their snow pants and their boots and hats and mitts and gloves and scarves, that really requires a lot of time. So this is a real benefit of a balanced day, and that there are only the two times where students have to transition like that. We also have some conflicts with occasional and itinerant teachers juggling between traditional and balanced day. More and more schools are adopting a balanced day. So it can be challenging to find occasional teachers at the midway point in a traditional day. But underlined and in bold is that if we decide to change and go back to a traditional day, this is another change for students. And I really believe that our students would really struggle with this. Also, in those two 15-minute recesses in a traditional day, all of our students would be on the yard at the same time, which is not safe. And I really want our community to know that a traditional day, there are some big time problems with it. The biggest one, in my opinion, being that those two 15-minute recesses, all of the kids are out on the yard at the same time, and they're having to change and prepare and put their snow pants on to go outside. So this is the process, and this is why it's having to change. We have to survey the community now, because prior to this year, schools have just adopted a balanced day. We've just been able to do it because it naturally cohorted students and it spread our kids out on the schoolyard. As I had mentioned, in a balanced day, we do not have all of the students out on the yard at the same time. But now the school board has said, nope, if you want to remain a balanced day, those schools that have been on a balanced day for the past 2 years, if you want to stay that way, you just need to survey the community. And of the surveys that come in, the majority has to be in agreement that they want to maintain and stay a balanced day, which we're currently on. So the process was we were to create a committee comprised of staff, parent, and community representatives, which we had done. I shared that with you on the first slide. We have to share this information with the community regarding the proposed change to balanced day. So this is why I'm doing the video recording of this information, so all parents can access this information. And then we have to conduct a community survey, which you'll be able to access electronically. We will give paper copies for people who need it, but we're hoping that most surveys will be completed electronically, which is due April 1st. And then we submit the results of the survey to the superintendent for implementation. So what do we need? So the responses must be received from a majority of the families. So over 50% of families at Woodland Heights must respond to the survey. And then the majority of responses must be in favor and support staying with the balanced day, which again, we're currently in. This is the research that has been done, and I'll leave this up there for anyone who would like to take a picture of it. These are some research papers that would be in support and shows the benefits of maintaining and staying in a balanced day. So you could look up these. I'm sure there might be some research out there that supports a traditional day. I have just not come across any of it. And then we had some opportunities for some questions. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and welcome you back to the locker room here. But I will be honest with the community. I shared this information with staff at a staff meeting, and not one staff member raised their hand and said, well, let's go back to a traditional day. I think unanimously on staff and also in our school council meeting, I think that it became quite clear for people that we're really hopeful that the community votes in favor of staying in a balanced day. We're really hopeful that this happens because it will be a big change for our community to go back to a traditional day and those 2 15-minute recesses and, you know, all students on the yard at the same time. We are very hopeful for your support in maintaining our organization the way it has been for the past 2 years in the traditional day for good. So we really hope that we get your voice. A survey will be forthcoming. You'll see that. And you can refer to this video. You can also call the school. I can be reached by email as well at a.orr@tvdsb.ca. You can email me, you can call me. If you have any questions about the content of this presentation, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. And I want to thank you for your time. And as I said, the survey will be forthcoming. And I look forward to hearing from you all. And please stay safe and enjoy your day. Thank you.